Hello everyone and welcome to another banner review, and today we're looking at the brand new The Order banner. Now, first thing that is very important to note, there is no limited time units, okay? I'm going to make this perfectly clear now so that nobody ever has to ask this again. These units are not limited. They will forever be in the summon pool, meaning that you do not need to rush on them, but if you are interested, now is a good time to grab them, obviously, because odds are better. So we're going to go right into it, and let me tell you right now. First of all, nothing super interesting about the 3-star unit, but for anybody who is brand new to the game, this is your best chance to get a true dual-hand greatsword that honestly is pretty damn decent. 130 attack, 10% defense, and you just so happen to get a 1.1 to 1.6 times variance. If you have a true dual hand and you've been trying to get your hands on true dual hand equipment easily, this is your best chance. This really is a great chance on a great sword. Okay, next up, Zalulu and Delulu. Kind of basically a bard, a new form of bard, and nothing is super interesting. They may have some abilities that can burst, but since we're kind of living in a 7-star meta, it's hard to get too excited about them. They're a little bit interesting. If you need a buffer for party, they could probably pass off of it for now. Their TMR, on the other hand, 20% attack plus a 30% extra attack when equipped with a bow, basically is a bow mastery, and it's about time now if we could only get a great bow attack user. Although people who have Lenneth from the Valkyrie profile, this is probably the unit for you. You want to get at least like 4 of these. But actually this TMR does have some additional value for other units because it gives 40% spirit when equipped with a instrument. So if you've been trying to get up to the 1850 spirit, this could potentially help. There aren't really anything better than 40% spirit, so not a bad idea to get your hands on these. Now, we're going to be talking about our first girl, and then we're going to be talking about Nagi. And Nagi's the one I'm super excited about, but let's talk about Ego first. Now, about Ego. Here's the thing. For anyone who has been the biggest long-time fan of Eileen, this unit may be Eileen's best chance to be, well, this will definitely be Eileen's best friend, but this is Eileen's best chance to kind of come back into the meta with a strong chaining partner. First of all, this girl is true dual hand through and through. If you are building her, you're basically going to build her for true dual hand, and as it turns out, her materia is probably only great for her, but it's really great for her. 20% MP, 40% attack with a whip, which you will probably want on her anyway. 25% accuracy, and 25% extra attack for true dual handing. Now it's only a small true dual hand boost, but considering that you get 40%, you're getting about 65% attack bonus with this. So stacking a few of these on her, probably a good idea. Yes. Now she does have a W cast ability, so she can hit with multiple attacks of some of her abilities, which is great. As a matter of fact, it's super nice. Now, she does have the chaining ability of Earth, and it does chain with Pile Driver, who just happens to be a strong other true dual hand unit in Eileen. Eileen is a strong Earth damage dealer, and it just turns out this girl can chain with her. And the other thing is that Brutal Whip also just happens to debuff the enemy's Earth resistance by 80%. So Ego actually is a really strong chainer. She also has the ability to cast status effects, so this girl is going to be kind of a nightmare to deal with in Arena. She is powerful chainer with Eileen. She is also able to do a lot of status effects, but she can also debuff the enemy for ice, light, and darkness resistance of 100%. And last time I checked, 100% was a pretty big debuff. Pretty damn big debuff. Anyway. The only other thing that is really worth mentioning, now there's a lot in her kit, and I'm trying to keep these banner reviews shorter, so I'm not going to talk too much about her in detail. I will do that during a unit review. But the last big thing to note is one of her cooldown abilities in her 7-star, which can only be used once every 8 turns. So it has a slow cooldown. However, with that being said, it increases her attack 250% for 6 turns. 6 turns is a long time for a chainer who can also debuff the enemy for a great amount. Not only that, but it removes all debuffs on herself and prevents her from getting any debuffs later. So all of that is just incredibly strong. Now she does have some other abilities that are really cool, including a cooldown that is on a 3-turn cooldown with a 30% probability to just instant kill the enemy, or it just does a lot of damage with a 100% chance of poison. Gotta say, Ego ended up being a very cool unit. At first glance, you might say, oh, she has a weird chaining pattern, she doesn't work very well. But for anyone who really loves Eileen, Eileen's got a new best friend, and she rides a fucking Malboro. I will not lie, though. One of the big things that will make Yigo from going from, you know, really good to amazing will be her super TMR. A two-handed whip, 176 attack with a 1.05 to 1.55 times variance with 50% accuracy is incredibly strong. Congratulations, whips. You pretty much just beat katanas. And last but not least is probably my favorite of the banner, and I had good timing there. Say hello to Nagi. And I gotta say, Nagi is my favorite of the banner by far, because she is our newest addition to a popular chaining family known as the Divine Ruination or Holy Explosion. And she's a hybrid unit too, so I'm just happy as a clam. I love hybrid units, and I gotta say, one with Holy Explosion frame chaining. Welcome. Welcome. You're going to be fun to use. Anyway, let's talk about Nagi. Now, Nagi's Trust Mastery is a 35 attack, 35 magic half, 10 defense, and 12 spirit. Great for hybrids. Just fantastic for hybrids. Don't know if you'll necessarily want them. On the other hand, a 35 magic mage hat isn't terrible either. Super Trust Mastery is kind of insane though. 20% attack, 50% magic, and 60% extra attack when dual wielding. Very strong. Very powerful materia. Now stat wise, I should say that Ego as well also has a 204 base stat. Sorry, just gotta go back to Ego for a second. 204 with an extra 65 points in puts her very powerful. As a matter of fact, almost incredibly powerful. I really think that Ego is super strong, you guys. Wait, but maybe not as strong as Satan, but definitely probably can hold her own. Now, sorry, back to Nagi. Nagi has a 202 base attack with 65 extra points being able to put in. Magic is 209 with an extra 40, so there is a slightly higher skew to magic. Slightly higher skew to attack, which I'm not super crazy about. It kind of off-balances her as a hybrid unit, and I love the balance. So I'm not super crazy about this. What I am crazy about with Nagi is the fact that her weapon equipment is actually pretty good. She can equip daggers, swords, katanas, rods, whips, and fists. The fact that she can equip rods naturally means that she can be built pretty strong as a hybrid unit with a incredibly powerful attack-based weapon and an incredibly powerful magic-based weapon. Long story short, really, really good news for this girl. She might be too strong. We'll see. Speaking of incredibly strong, while we didn't talk too much about Ego, because Ego's Limit Burst is a very, very strong... Ooh, I gotta find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? A very, very strong, you know, single hit that causes basically a lot of status effects. I'm gonna have to give the better Limit Burst to Nagi. Because at 30 crystals, it is a 12-hit hybrid damage attack at 3,000% attack and magic, or attack and magic combined. So 1,500% each to one enemy. But it also increases her attack and magic by 230% for the next 3 turns. That's a big buff for a hybrid unit that can potentially get really high stats. So, super excited. Now, in her kit, she has some really nice water, ice, darkness, light, chaining attacks, or her light and dark ones are chaining attacks on Holy Explosion frames at 1,300% attack and magic. So 1,300% total for attack and magic is really big, but it also reduces the enemy's resistance to light or dark for 60% for 3 turns. So just perfect for a chainer, let me tell you. Not only that, she has natural dual wield in her kit, so gotta admit, that's pretty nice. She also has a lot of killers naturally in her kit against demons, reapers, and humans. 75% natural killers is... It's a lot. It's a lot, you guys. Now, she also has hybrid damage dealing attacks that are 750% for water and ice, which isn't bad. In her kit, she has lots of different passives. She has hybrid damage that attacks that can cause stop to a single enemy, so that's kind of nice and annoying for Arena. Fist is one where she gets an extra attack bonus, so if you can equip a high-powered attack fist and then a high-powered rod, you're in good shape with this girl. She has a 16 hit at 10 frames hybrid damage at 1100%. That is to all enemies, so that's a big chaining ability that can also cause poison, blind, and confusion on all enemies and debuff ice and wind resistance 60% for 3 turns. Again, very, very strong. Oh, sorry, her 50% killers do require her TMR, but seeing how her TMR is perfect for her, you're going to equip it anyway. Lots of extra attack and magic bonuses, but in her 7-star kit is where I kind of get even more excited. For 74 MP, she has a 30 hit at 4 frames, which might... I'm pretty sure that's Runeera, but if I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody in the YouTube comments will correct me. It is hybrid dark... It is just hybrid dark damage. 1,500% attack and magic to all enemies. So this girl has not only Holy Explosion chaining, but also potential chaining with Lauren. That's a good unit. Runeera. That's a good unit. But her element is kind of off. So it's not going to be perfect chaining, but 30 hit chaining ain't bad either. Special dual casted. She has hybrid dark damage in her 7-star kit with at 2,800%. She also has a cooldown ability that on turn 1, she can increase her attack and magic by 200% for 3 turns to the caster and reduce enemy resistance to ice, wind, light, and dark for 80% for 3 turns to all enemies. So not only does she buff herself, she gets the enemy ready to take some pain. As a matter of fact, a lot of pain. And the fact that she debuffs wind and dark means that she probably is a really good partner for Runeera. May not elemental chain, but with an 80% debuff, it might not matter. And from there, she just gets some modifiers to some of her stuff in her kit, extra limit burst damage, blah, 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 blah. So what do I think of this banner? First, I know I went into a little bit of an extended bit about Nagi, but I gotta say, Nagi's really cool. I have to say that this is a really strong banner. Getting a strong greatsword from just the 3-star should be enough reason to try at least a few pulls to get that 3-star maybe, if you're really hurting for true dual hand equipment. Now, the 4-star, kind of difficult to recommend. He's not super great yet. If you need spirit materia, good source of it because you'll probably get a lot of trust Moogleys from the raid summon, so you can get some spirit materia. Actually pretty easy, which is also good for magic tanks. And it's just, you know, okay, they got to equip an instrument, but okay, then I guess maybe it'll just be good for healers. Ego is incredibly strong. If you're a big fan of Eileen, say hello to Eileen's best friend. Say hello to being able to having a really excellent, amazing true dual hand chaining partner for Eileen in 10-man trials. And especially because Earth is not an element that a lot of bosses seem to be really super good with. So strong candidates here for chaining partners, especially if your Eileen has her TMR, which, why not? That TMR is pretty damn good last I checked. Now, as for the step-up banner, the step-up banner is kind of a weird one to recommend. First of all, 1500 Lapis, not the most, per se. And I guess if you look at my Lapis total, you can already guess. The first step, getting 6 random Trust Moogles for any unit that comes out of this banner. Pretty garbagey on the first one, I gotta admit. It's just not good. It's not good. It's not good, you guys. Now, Step 2, on the other hand, I would have to say that Step 2 is actually really, really good. Why do I say this? Well, Step 2 gives you a really good fist and a really good whip. Now, obviously, they're not the best of equipment that you can get for these characters, but if you're just starting and you're going to be hurting for equipment, pretty damn decent to get these right off the get-go. Step 3, giving you a guaranteed Nagi or a Ego. Seeing how both of these 5-stars are incredibly strong in their own right, Ego being a true dual hand chainer, and also Nagi being a hybrid dual wielder with amazing chaining abilities, gotta say, both are actually pretty damn good results. The only bad result is if you only get one of each of these, or just one in general. And that always is the risk. But in general, I have to say that I'm actually more impressed with this banner than I thought it would be. Nagi is potentially really, really interesting to see how strong she is. And Ego, I would love to see somebody just go hard with Eileen in this girl. So, yeah, gotta say, I actually recommend this banner for a lot of different reasons, depending on what you're looking for. If not, good time to just save up, do a whole bunch of raid summons, and in the future, maybe you'll land one of these characters, and then you'll be able to use those trust moogles. So that's all for this unit review, or banner review, whatever this video is, and I will see you next time, where we will be taking a look at some of these characters in a review-like setting. Now, quick note, I am wanting to review the brand new EX unit, the EX point unit that we got here on the Japanese side, but I'm waiting for a fusion rate up because I really would like to get her to max level before I show her off. And hopefully I will be able to show off Nagi and Ego in the future, depending if I got them. Or should I say, depending if Mog and Boko got it. See you next time.